Like the Buddha said, the suffering of mankind is we getting attached to things, to material things. People get attached to the subscribers they have, to the car they have, to the houses. What if, because I've seen disasters happen and people lose their car. You can't detach. Another trick I have is, you just imagine you lose. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Sis on Space and welcome back if you're a subscriber. Today I'm talking about detachment, and I know I'm going to trigger my control freaks, I know, but this is a message that I had whilst I was having a quick nap today, and I have to tell you guys. So what is detachment? Detachment is you stepping back consciously or unconsciously from a situation, from a person, or just not manipulating anything and letting things play out. Don't attach to the future of it, to how it should be or should have been. Don't plan it out. Just step back. Just feel the emotions of how you would wish it to be. Just feel the emotion, but don't attach it to anything. And that's it. That's what detachment means. And I know I see a lot of women who get hurt, or even people, I won't even say just women, even people who get hurt by bringing this kind of emotions of feeling attached to everything. That is you hurting yourself and hurting other people involved. When I see people who are so attached to things, it gives me the example of like you being attached to every breath you take. It's just breath, let it go, a new one will come. It's just like, oh my gosh, I feel like this might be my last breath. I'm not gonna breathe out, I'm gonna hold on to it. How would that feel? You're gonna pass out. But if you let it out, new one will come. It will make space for new one to enter. Some people go on a first date, meet a particular friend. Maybe they've been praying for a good friend for a long time. They meet a particular friend, they interview for a particular job, and automatically they feel like they're supposed to have it. They start imagining, they just sit down. It happens to water sign people, especially myself. I'm a water sign, and I see that a lot with water sign women and men. And then you sit down and you start planning out how it should be, how it should go. You have video of everything. So if a woman who is very attached or who doesn't know how to detach goes on a date, we will see this person planning out her wedding in her mind. Having swam in the rivers of Italy, having a wedding in Santorini, in her gown, picking up rings, having a bridesmaid. You're so attached. And that is how you hurt yourself and hurt the person in the process. Why? Because you have high expectations now. You try to manipulate the situation in order for you to have it the way you want it. So what would this person do? They'll start watching videos, how to make a man marry you, how to let a man be obsessed with you, how to that, how to this. And let me tell you this, you might have your own energy and also know how to manipulate it, but just know you're also involving someone else's energy in it. And the only way to have things play out the way you want it to play out and be detached, but then still magnetize that thing to you, is to feel the emotion of how it will feel to have that thing. And you feeling the emotions of how it feels to have that thing is you raising your vibration to meet up with that thing, and then you experience it. There is no way you're going to attract something that you don't feel. If you're not happy, like say you're sad today, you're only going to attract things that are going to make you sadder. Or if you have negative thoughts of you losing something, I don't know, maybe losing your credit card, or you just have bad emotions, you just have negative thoughts right now, you're going to find things that are going to match that negative thought. If you're feeling angry today and everything is pissing you off, you realize you find things which are pissing you off the whole day. It all comes from your thoughts. If you shift your mind that I deserve this thing, I deserve to be married in Santorini, I deserve to have this job, I deserve to have a best friend who is loyal, who loves me, blah blah, and you just feel that emotion, you automatically raise to that. You feel that emotion and you act like that thing. You become that thing. That is how you attract it. You don't have to manipulate, you don't have to be attached to this one person who comes, because sometimes the right thing, the right job, the right person, the right friend comes in a different package. Nothing you ever expected. It will come in in a weird way. And you're like, whoa. Just imagine how many times you've always wanted things to be a certain way. You're waiting, begging, pleading that they be this way for you. In fact, you played it out, you prayed to God, you showed him how it should be. Never played out, you thought that was it, and then unexpectedly you had it in a very weird way. That is how detachment works. When you're detached from things, you don't care where it comes from, how it comes from, and in what it comes in. You only know that that is what you deserve and that is what you want. You only feel that. So if you want love, you want to be truly loved. How does it feel? Or what is your description of love? Do you love yourself the exact same way? Do you treat yourself the way you want your future partner to treat you? Some of you don't even tell yourself, I love you. You don't tell yourself you're beautiful. You don't tell yourself, I will die for you or kill for you. Like, you should be able to express to yourself the kind of love you want to attract. And you have to also feel how it will feel to have that particular love or job or anything you desire to attract. I realize that some people build things because they feel like the universe should give it to them, or God should give it to them. This is like, no, it's more ego. Just feel it and release it. Like, for instance, like, say if I am attached to my YouTube and I go somewhere and someone doesn't know who I am, and maybe they say something which is disrespectful, someone who is operating from ego be like, do you know who I am? Do you know what, like, how, you know, I have this amount of followers or subscribers, da da da. You know, you don't get respect from people just because you have the subscribers. You get respect or love from people because of the energy you're emitting out of you. It doesn't matter if you have 1 billion or the most followed person in the world. If you don't have a good heart, if you're attached to everything and you take everything personal, to how people treat you, to how people react to you, there is a reason why you're attracting that. That means in some way you don't respect yourself. In some way you hate yourself. So you're going to attract people unconsciously who will reflect that part to you. That means you're unkind to people. So you're going to meet people who are unkind to you, and you'll be wondering, I've been trying to attract or make everyone love me. I've been trying to do this. Love yourself. You can't make people do anything. You can't make people love you or accept you or treat you a certain way if that's not how you treat yourself. It's almost impossible. I remember some years back, I had always wanted to go on a girls trip. Like, I see it on Instagram, I'm like, this is so beautiful. Imagine you traveling, I don't care which country it is or where it is, with your friends, and you guys have the best moment, like memories, laughter, blossom. Like, everyone is so in love with each other as friends, and you accept each other so much that it's just fun. Everyone's hair is down and it's just super fun. And because that time I was so attached to a particular group of friends I wanted to go on a trip with, I was like, oh, I can't wait to go on a trip with this like friend of mine, that. And I was involved, I was planning, I was telling them like, let's do this, let's go here. And I was so involved. Guys, I wouldn't say the worst trip, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be. I didn't feel accepted by those girls. I didn't feel accepted. I felt like I was odd. I felt like I wasn't understood by this friends group. In fact, it didn't even make our friendship strong. It made it awkward. And then I started learning about, you know, the laws of the universe and how to attract, law of attraction. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put the intention out. And I'm just going to be detached from which friend or friends group it comes from. It doesn't matter. Maybe the girls I never expected to have fun with are going to be the girls I have fun with. So I just put the intention out there again that God, like, it would be so nice, you know, having the best girls trip ever. I don't care where. And I just detached. I didn't even think about it again. I just forgot about it. I just lived my life. Still were hanging out with my friends and all of that. Then one time, out of nowhere, a friend of mine invited me to go and babysit with one of her best friend, who is also my friend, but it's like a mutual friend. It's through that friend that I know the rest of the friends. So we ordered, it was early in the morning, like 9, 10. So we ordered breakfast, we're having a chitty chat, and the one girl got up to go to the bathroom. And I didn't even know it was her birthday. So when she was in the bathroom, Alexa was like, it's her birthday and we're planning a surprise for her in Paris. Do you want to join? Like the rest of us, we know, but we wanted you to come to it. I was like, cool, yeah, of course. She's a sweet girl. Of course, I was want to surprise her. Like, good, but don't tell her. I'm like, girl, I threw the padlock away. I threw the keys away. She's not hearing a word from me. And we planned that trip. Look, I didn't go out searching for a trip, but that trip is the most memorable trip. Even though it was Paris, it was the most beautiful trip ever. Every one of us, like, everywhere we go, we held each other's hand. We never left anyone behind. Unlike the other trip, where at some point I was left behind and the girls would just move on and go, and then I'll be like the odd one out. No one was trying to be like, oh, you handle yourself on your own because you're odd. I never felt that. I felt more included. I felt like I was a little sister in the group, and I was so pampered. And I just set out the intention without attaching it to who. So when you meet that great person, it might not be what you expect. The guy you think that, oh, because he's here right now and in my face and he's telling me he loves me, he might be the one I go on trips with. Let's say, for instance, you want to travel the whole world with the love of your life, and you meet this guy, you automatically assume, oh, that's him. Oh, thank you, universe. He might be the one I go on the whole trip with. And then you start imagining you and him in different parts of the world. Honey, don't attach to him that he should be the one, because when it doesn't happen, you'll be disappointed. And that is how you hurt yourself when you hurt him. Because he doesn't know that's your intention. He doesn't know you have so much like attachment to how it should end. Maybe he came to sleep with you and dump you. Maybe he came to benefit off of you and he never intended to stay for long. But you have so much attachment to it has to be him. So if you ignored him telling you he doesn't want anything serious, you ignored it. It passed over your head like, are you ready to go on the trip? Like you're so grasped on the fact that it has to be this person. And the right person might come in any package. Just feel the emotion of how it feels to experience that, like just the emotion. Feel it. How would it feel to be with the love of my life and travel with him? How would it feel for him to love me so much and care for me? Look, once you feel that deep emotions, anyone who doesn't feel exactly how you feel, true love, unconditional love, will drop off out of your life automatically. If it's not him, for no reason, something will happen and he'll just leave. I've tried this several times with guys who come up to me and it has been working. Like, I was like, I cracked the code to life. It feels like that because anytime I meet a guy, because I'm a water sign, I don't know, I try not to attach, but I end up kind of like imagining. I end up drifting into a dreamy fantasy, okay? I don't know, I try myself not to go there, but I drift there somehow, some way. And another way to detach, apart from you feeling that emotion, is having spiritual boundaries. For my control freaks, I know. I mean, I'll say spiritual or emotional boundaries because, you know, you have to have both. And what that means is, if you're the type who doesn't know how to love small, like maybe your love is as huge as the ocean. When you're kind to people, you're kind-hearted, like as huge as the whole world. Create limits. Create limits. You see how the sea has boundaries and the sea can't just come to my house? The sea can't just come to my house because there is boundaries. The sea is wide and vast and broad, can occupy a lot of things, but it has a limit. It won't surpass that limit. The moment it surpasses that limit, it's a natural disaster. And it's not safe anymore. Okay? Because the moment the sea surpasses its limits, what do we have? The sea will hurt people, take lives, destroy things. Okay? If the sea is so attached to us and always wants to come to us, it has to destroy and break down things. It will not go with the flow and ebbs of life. It will destroy it. It will destroy the flow and ebbs of its nature, of nature itself. So the sea is detached from us. If you want to see the sea, you have to go to the sea. That is how love should be. That's how friendship should be. Let it come to you. You don't go to it, because when you force it and you manipulate it, it's like the sea trying to break down houses and trees and taking lives just to come to me. And that is not cool. we don't want to have that on national TV. That looks disgusting. How it's going to play out. So tell yourself, I know I love so much and I love so deep. And every time I get hurt, what am I going to do? I'm going to put boundaries on that. I'm going to put boundaries on my emotions. I'm going to learn to hold myself. And how do you hold yourself? Have standards. Anyone who has standards, it's not easy to, fall for things. If you pay attention to emotions and leave your standards, that's when you make everything bogus. Like, oh, forget my standards. I like him. He has beard. He has muscles. Tell yourself, yes, he looks good. He looks scrumptious. He looks like the type of guy I would want to show to mommy, okay, or daddy. But does he meet this thing of mine? Is he a provider? Is he a protector? Like, ask yourself, does he meet all those criteria? Like the basic things as a man that you desire, does he meet it? Look at that, overlook his looks, because looks are deceptive. Looks will make you attached. You start imagining how it would feel like to be laying on his chest. I know, I have been there. You start imagining how it feel like to grab on his arms when he's on top of you. Like, come on now. You start imagining, if it's a job, you start imagining how you're in the uniform and you're just walking about and bragging to your friends that you work here. Whatever it is, you will start imagining if you don't have high standards. So have high standards. If, let's say, you want to attract a provider and a protector, ask yourself, what is his mindset when it comes to relationship? Does he date to marry, or does he date for the experience of dating? Does he date and then when he's full, he gets up and leaves? What kind of a person he is? Have standard. Let him prove himself to you by letting time do its job. By you relaxing, observing, laying down your standards, like, this is what I require in order for me to give myself to you. Even if it hurts that I'm not going to go with it, at least you dodged a bullet. So that's how you create emotional boundaries with that. And also with the spiritual boundaries, I would also say it's like you driving on a road. And it's a long road, it's a boundless road. That is maybe how your love is, okay? It's a long, boundless road. It's like marriage, it's like friendship. You have it for life or until you leave this earth. But also, tell yourself, this is a long road. Is it worth it rushing, speeding, just to get to the finish line, and there is no finish line? There is no finish line. Why are you rushing? Or would you rather take your time, get to know this person, get to read all the signs on the road, maybe stop and rest at some point when things are getting a bit stressful and tedious? Or you rather be like the other guy who rushes every time into relationships, into everything, they don't check and see what clues it comes with, what am I going to sacrifice for that? If you rush, you're sacrificing your life. You're sacrificing your health. Because anyone who rushes might miss the red traffic. You might rush when it's time for you to stop. You might not see, you might pass, and you might get hit by something else. Because you didn't look left or right. You didn't check. You didn't pause. You didn't take your time. You were in a rush to get to the finish line. You were in a rush to get to the future with that person. So all your mind is on the finish line. You didn't enjoy the process. You didn't enjoy the experience. You didn't know how it felt the first day you guys went on a date, and how first when I'm going on a date, I just say, okay, I'm just going for drinks, or I'm just going for dinner. That's all. And I don't imagine anything. I just detach from who he is or who he could be. Yeah, he's this, he's that, he's a business owner, he's an engineer, he's a doctor. So what? Let me find out who he is. I just detach. I'm just gonna, go for drinks, and that's all. I don't go with any expectation that he has to be my boyfriend until he brings up any kind of something sexual, and I'm like, oh, I only do that with my boyfriend or my fiance. I'm not interested in doing that with someone who I'm getting to know. Until he brings something like that up, I just enjoy. I just have fun. I just laugh. I just be myself. I take my time. I take my time to know this person. I watch them carefully. I shine my eyes and my ears, and I shut up. I'm sad. That's how it is. If you know you love too much, Learn to observe. That's it. Learn to observe. Learn to live in the present moment. That is all you have. Because one day, when you're looking back on the memories, you're going to remember the moments that you were present. What's the point if you get to the future and you don't even have that emotion of how it felt when you first met them and the first time they touched you? Like, what's the romance? What's the love? When you're rushing to do something, you're doing it out of fear, out of like doubt. You want to get there quick because you feel like they might get to know the real you and they won't like you. So you're rushing. You're in a hurry. Before they get to know who you are, let me put them here first. Let me get them there before they change their mind. That is you operating from doubt and fear. Let them decide. Let them get to know you and let them decide. Detach from even how it will, like, detach. And if you can't, detach, another trick I have is you just imagine you losing them someday and cry. Like, I remember doing that with one of my exes. Like, I liked them so much. In fact, it wasn't even like I loved them so much that I was like, nothing lasts forever. How would it feel if I lose this person? And I would just sit and cry. And that helped me to detach a lot. That helped me to detach. And sometimes when they do something, I remember one time they did something painful, I just walked out. Because I've already grieved. I've already grieved of losing them before. So I was okay with losing them. I've imagined how it feels not to have them. I've already imagined how it feels to live a life where they're not in it, even though I love them. But I knew that they're human beings and anything can happen. And I always say, if it happens that we get married, cool. If it doesn't happen, I get married, I know it's going to hurt. I know this I'm going to, and I felt that, and I snapped back to reality, like, they still love me. But in case it happens, I'm already detached from the future. That helped me detach from the future and the hurt. When it left me, it hurt, but it didn't hurt as much as I expected. I just remember just starting to do the things I always knew I was going to do when they were not there. And that was it. I just was like, oh, I remember saying, in case they're not there, I'm going to start doing this, I'm going to start doing that. And I just started doing it. Sometimes it crossed my mind, I get hurt, but I wasn't like destroying things and like being so angry that I was blaming people. And no, it was like, well, it wasn't meant to. And if it was meant to, it should be here. So if something is out of your hand, give it permission to leave your mind. Give it permission to go. Detach. You end up not suffering. Anyone who's detached doesn't suffer. Like the Buddha said, the suffering of mankind is we getting attached to things, to material things. People get attached to the subscribers they have, to the car they have, to the houses. What if, because I've seen disasters happen and people lose their car. Hurricanes, tsunamis, houses break, businesses collapse or go bankruptcy. If that is how you know yourself to be, is your business, your attachment to material things and superficial things, which we can lose now or we can gain in a second. What will happen if you lose it? Have you asked yourself? In a world, in a perfect world, ask yourself, what would happen if all these things I'm chasing, that one day when I leave this earth, it's not going to come with me? Because you came here with nothing. You best believe you're going to live with nothing. You will go the same way you came. I came to this earth with no YouTube subscribers. And I'm very grateful for my subscribers. But these people can decide what to do. They can decide not to follow me anymore. And I can do nothing about it. That is why I don't attach myself to anything. I still live my normal life. I live like a normal person. I don't even tell people that I'm a YouTuber, I'm this, I do that. The only thing I tell them is, oh, I have my own business. Oh, what's that about? Oh, it's about video, I'm into video. I don't specify I'm a YouTuber, I'm a content creator. I'm not really attached to it. I just do what I love, put out the things I love, how creative I am with my words and how I communicate and the things that come in my mind. But I'm not attached to, it has to be like, I know I'm gonna be great. I don't know when, I don't know which way it's gonna come. I don't know which video is gonna make me blow up. All I know is one day I might get there and I'll be very grateful, I'll be very thankful. And I already know how it feels to be that. But I'm not putting pressure on myself that it has to be this day, it has to be this video. I've tried that before. And every time I put pressure that this video is going to be the one that's going to make it, it fails. And the videos that I don't expect, I just do it because, yeah, they end up reaching wider audience. So just detach. Don't walk around feeling like because you have this car, you have this partner, and they're so cute and so handsome, so they're going to be there forever. Anything can happen. It's called life. It's called life. It's out of your control. Things which are out of your control, you should detach from it. The only thing you can attach yourself to is the love for yourself, and that brings me to the last one. How do you treat yourself? How do you see yourself? What views or thoughts do you have with yourself? That is what matters. Because the way you treat yourself, the way you perceive yourself, the way you talk to yourself, is going to reflect in your everyday life. It's going to reflect in your standards, in your boundaries, in your actions, in your words, in even the way you look. It's going to reflect. So, while you're talking about detachment, do ask, what should I attach to? Attach to your well-being, attached to your health, attached with being better as a person. In order for you to, there are mosquitoes everywhere. Attached to your well-being, attached to your health, attached to being the highest version of yourself, attached to being the best version of yourself. That's all that matters. Because that's the only thing you can control. You can control how you react to the world, but you can't control how the world treats you. Sometimes you can't. But if you treat yourself right, best believe 90% of the world or the people you meet are going to treat you the same way you treat yourself, think about yourself, view yourself. If you talk well about yourself, if you're confident, people are going to believe that and they're going to treat you like that. That's the only thing you have control over. The rest is out of your control. What people choose to say behind you, what people choose to do in front of you, you can't do anything. When people choose to walk out of your life, you can't do anything about it. It's not like you can hold your legs and let them stand. You can't. That is begging. And that is very repellent energy. The only thing you have control over is how you treat yourself and how you react to the treatment from other people. That is all. So learn to care about you more than anything else. I know people are going to be like, that's selfish. Who should you care about more? Who should you be selfish about if not you? Who? I want to know. That you are the most important person in your life. And the world needs you. But the world doesn't need people who don't have a mental state or emotional state. It makes it worse. Take care of your health, take care of your mind, your soul, your body, everything about you. That is the only time the people around you are going to have the best version of you. And that's how the world is going to raise. And that's going to attract everything to you. It's that simple. So detach, learn to detach. So you don't suffer and allow life to flow the way it wants to. Allow the flow and ebbs of life to be. Flow with life. Don't go against it. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. I hope this video helps. Share with a friend who needs to listen or needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Bye. See you next time.